And okay, yeah,
Okay.
here you go.
Uh, Before starting the session, I would like to thank Pune Tech community and all the organizations who give me an opportunity to share my knowledge and share my knowledge as a first time speaker. So on today's session, I will share my knowledge on UI flows, which will be created using Power Automate desktop app. In today, before starting the session, I would uh, share something about myself. My name is Ravi Ruparel. I'm working as a senior SharePoint developer in Prakash Infotech Private Limited in Ahmedabad. Uh, I have total experience of 6.5 plus years in SharePoint, and those are the those are the social media links where you can connect with me. In today's session, I have divide this session into five different parts. In this agenda, there are five different parts. First one is the Power Automate UI flows, where I will cover some of the basics like what is the Power UI flows, how we can create the UI flows, and some basics about Power Automate desktops. Once this will be covered, I will the next thing will be the different actions, like some of the actions which will be used in day-to-day life into the to achieve any of the requirements. After that, I have created some of the demos for the UI flows. Once the demo will be completed, then how we can trigger these UI flows from the Power Automate. Once that part will be completed, then into the last step, I will export and import UI flows from one environment to another environment. So let's start all the points one by one. Before starting the UI flow, uh, let's know what is the Power Automate. So Power Automate is a software tool that is used to create and automate workflows that is working on different applications without the need of developers. So there are three types of Power Automate workflows. First one is the cloud flows, that is divided into three different flows. First one is the automated flow, which can be triggered like if you are inserting or updating any item into the SharePoint list or any other type of uh, operations. The second one is the instant flow, like if you want to run the flow instantly, we can create this type of flow. The third one is the schedule flow, like into the SharePoint we are into the SharePoint on premise we are creating the timer job. In the same context, the schedule flow will be triggered on a specific time interval. The second type is the desktop flow. We will cover uh, this this type of flow into the details. The third one is the business process flow, that is used to achieve any kind of business requirement, like onboarding system of an employee. So this kind of flows we can create using the business process flow. The next thing is what is UI flow. UI flow is a desktop flow that is automates the process on your desktop environments. It brings the robotic process automation capabilities in your Power Automate system. RPA, we can say RPA is like if any kind of mouse clicks or keystrokes, that kind of steps that is performed by a human, that is that steps are replicated by a software process. We can say a Power Automate desktop. So how to create the UI flows? Uh, to create the UI flow, we can use the Power Automate desktop apps. There are two alternative methods we can create use to create the UI flows. One is the Windows Recorder, and second one is the Selenium IDE. Selenium IDE is used to record the web workflows. The Selenium IDE has a extension which we can add into the browser, and using this extension we can record the different steps performed on the web browser. The second one is the Windows Recorder, that is used to create the desktop workflows, but now Microsoft is this type of workflow is depicting by this month. So we will be focusing on more on onto the Power Automate desktop. uh, what is Power Automate desktop? So it is we can say a new addition or a future. feature that is added to the Power Platform. Into the previous stage, it was known as the Win Automation until Microsoft has purchased it. Um, Before Microsoft has purchased the Win Automation, it was a very well established RPA product which has significant capabilities. And Microsoft at that time want to start their own RPA system. So they have go to the Win Automation and purchase the Win Automation from the other organization, and they have started their RPA from there. Uh, what Power Automate Desktop is very quick and easy to automate using the designer. Like the Power Automate Desktop has different kind of actions which we can drag and drop into the window, and once the action is drag and drop, we can just set up all the things, and we can we can achieve our functionalities. Some of the examples we can say for the Power Automate are like organizing different documents from the files and using the different actions of the files and folders. We can also extract the data from the website and store into the Excel file. We can upload the files from the local system to our FTP servers. We can also get the data, like fetching the data from the REST API, and then extract into the Excel. Power Automate provides like different kind of actions to work with the RPA. One of the key features for the RPA is called OCR, which stands for Optical Character or Recognition. This technology is used to fetch the data from the image or any kind of documents to to achieve our requirements. Like if I have one PDF document, from there if I want to get the a number of images available inside the PDF, and I want to store it into the local drive, then we can do with the using the Power Automate Desktop. uh, how we can install the Power Automate desktop app. So for that we need to go into the Power Automate dashboard. From there, uh, from the left side we have the options create. From there, if we click on the install button, it will show two options. One is the Power Automate Desktop, and second one is the on-premise data gateway. We will click on the Power Automate Desktop, and it will download the exe file. We can install that exe file into our system. The second one is the on-premise data gateway. We will cover the details into the upcoming slides. Now, what are the actions into the Power Automate desktops? So, as you see into the screens, they have provided a number of many number of actions into the Power Automate desktop apps. Some of the actions we can say like invoke the service. Like if you want, I want to fetch the data from the REST API. Like there is one weather API, and from that I want to fetch the data and store into the Excel file. Then I can use the invoke web service method. The second one, we can say execute the any SQL statements. Uh, uh, we can retry the emails using the Outlook. We can extract the text from the OCR. Uh, like if I want to fetch this text from this window, then I can fetch using the OCR. We can upload the files to the FTP. If we want to run any application into our system, there is one action to run an application where we will define the exe file path of our system from our system, and it will trigger that specific applications. The send keys button, like if I have the text box which is available into the any window, and if I want to type anything, then we can use this sections. The another one we can say extract images from PDF. So if I have 5 to 6 images into any specific PDF file, we can fetch these images and store into our local drives. The next thing is the use cases. So let me go to my server. Okay. for today's demo, I have created 5 different examples uh, for the UI flows. Before that, let me show how what are the different sections which is available into the Power Automate desktops. So once you download the app, you need to log in into the Power Automate desktop. So I have logged in with my Office 365 account. Over there, it will show the dashboard where it will show all the flows, which is all the UI flows that is associated with this specific account. Using the new flow button, I can create a new UI flow. Let me give a name, simple flow. It will open the screens where the screen will be divided into different parts. Onto the left hand side, it will have the actions. Actions are those things, these actions we can drag and drop into this main sections where we need to configure those parts. Like there are different actions for the, we can say, a loop if you want to loop anything. Then if you want to perform any wait operations, then there is some actions for the wait. There is some actions for the system, like if you want to run the applications, if you want to terminate any process, if you want to shut down our computer, or if you want to show our desktop, uh, if you want to empty our recycle bins. So there are different actions for the desktops also. The next is like compression. So if you want to zip or unzip files, there is different actions. There is different actions to copy files or move files, or if you want to rename any files or add a text into a specific file, there are different actions. We just need to drag and drop into the main section, and then we need to configure based on the actions. There is also actions for the Outlook, like if you want to open the launch the Outlook into that desktop, if you want to retrieve any emails from the Outlook, uh, if we can also perform the database operations, like we can open the SQL connections, we can execute the SQL statements. There are other like the PDF operations, like if we can extract the images. One of the important part is the OCR, like we can extract the text from the OCR. There are another options like AWS, Azure, FTP. If we want to upload or perform any operations with the FTP, we can do. We have the list of operations actions available into the UI flows. So these are the actions over here. Going into the right hand sections, it has 3 different parts. First one is the variable, second one is the UI elements, and third one is the images. Going into the variables parts, there are 2 different sections, subsections. One is the input or output variable, and second one is the flow variables. When we drag and drop any actions, like I want to copy files, at that time it will produces the different variables. So these variables comes under the flow variables sections. If we want to create any flow variables, then we can create it. There are 2 types of variables we can create. One is the input variable, and the second one is the output variable. So this is for the variables. And now going into the UI element. So if we are working with the OCR, and if we want to fetch any content of from any of the window, then we need to add one UI element from there. And once we add the UI element, this UI element we can use into the actions of the available from here. Like let me add one UI element. Clicking on add UI element, it will ask to, let me go to the desktop. Based on that, it will check what is the type of this. And just enter the control key and clicking on it, it will add this desktop icon over here, and click on done. Let me go to that. Yes, so it has automatically added one UI element. I use this UI element into the flow, like uh, when the flow will be triggered, I will just want to click on this icon, double click on this icon, so that the app will be open. The third section is the images. The same way, if we want to fetch the images and want to perform any operations on the images, we can do with this. uh, there are if we have the flow, we have which has number of steps, so we can create sub flows, like I have created one flow 1, click on save. So it will create one subflow, and we have one action, run the subflow, and from here we can trigger the subflow. So if we have if we have any functionality which have number of steps, so we can divide into the different sub parts. Also, when in for each and every actions, uh, for some of the actions, like let me go to the copy files. We have we have the functionality of error handling, like clicking on error, if we want to throw any error, or if we want to continue the flow, like go to the next action. If any error occurs into that particular actions, do we need to stop the flow, or do we need to continue the flow, like go to the next action, it will go to the next action. If we want to rerun this particular repeat do we if we want to repeat the current actions, we can select the repeat actions and go to the label, like go to particular stages in into the SharePoint designer workflow. We have different stages, so it will like the same. If we go to the want to if we want to go to a particular stage, we can go over there. Like over here we have one label, we can drag and drop over here, and we can define some of the actions from here. And if any error occurs, then it will go to this label, so we can perform that kind of operations also using the UI flows. So this is the some of the different components of the UI flows. So now I will move towards the examples which I have developed using the UI flows. Let me go to the first flow. Like in our here, I have used 2 or 3 different actions. First one is the show desktop. Second one, I will empty the recycle bin, and third one, I will launch the Chrome and navigate to the google.com. So for that, let me go to the recycle bin. So there are some files over here. Let me run this flow. It has launched the Google Chrome. Let's go to the recycle bin. It has deleted all these files. So in this demo, I have used 2 or 3 actions of the desktops which we can use. Into the second actions, into the second action, what I have done is I have one UI, I have one shortcut available at the desktop. On clicking of that, it will go at the desktop. Clicking on that action shortcut icon, and then it will render the google.com. Let me run this flow. So all those steps which we are performing typing, it will be done by the Power Automate itself. I have added one message that flow is run successfully. Let me go to the different actions inside that. So for that, I have created one UI element. Let me go to the UI element part, and I have added one shortcut for the Google Chrome. The same way I have shown earlier. When clicking on the UI element, it will wait for the address bar icon. So for the address bar icon, I have also added one UI actions, like this is the Google Chrome and this is the address bar. So once it will wait for the window to load, and once the address bar will be loaded, then we will populate the google.com into the address bar, and then we will click on the enter. So it will run, it will go to the google.com, and once the flow will be success, I will just show the display message. Into the third example, I have configured the Outlook in this system, and I will fetch all the some of the attachments from a specific emails, like if I have getting what are the number of attachments I have received from specific email account. So for that, let me go to the desktop. I have created one folder where I will store all the attachments. Let me go to the let me run this flow. It will launch the Outlook, then it will retrieve the attachments, and then it will close the out. So from the Outlook, it has it read the attachment files and store into this file. Let me go to the actions. First, it will launch the Outlook, and using the retrieve email messages from Outlook, we can get the attachments. Like in the Outlook, we have configured multiple accounts. So from which account I want to get the attachments, and from which folder, like I want to get it from the inboxes, and like for I want to filter for the specific email account. So I have just type selected the support@yatra.com. So it will filter only those emails which came from support@yatra.com. And into the attachment sections, there are two options. One is the save attachment, and second one is do not save the attachment. We want to save the attachments, so I have selected the save attachments, and I have just given the path of that attachment, so it will automatically store this into that particular folder. Into the next flow, I have one file which contains different kind of images and some contents inside the PDF file. So I want to get those images and upload inside one specific folder, and the content inside that PDF file will be added into the text file. So for that, I have created one folder where there is no images over here, and there is no content over here, and this is the file I am reading from the flow. So this file contains some of the images and the different contents. So if I want to get these images and the content, then I can get it using the flow. Let me run the flow. So the flow is completed. Let me go to the PDF operations. So it has 4 images. So 4 images has been stored over here, and inside the content, it will show all the content from the PDF file. Let's go to the different actions. Using the extract images from PDF, we can get all the images, and we can give the name of that images. we just need to give the path of the PDF files, and if we want to extract from all the pages or any specific pages, we can define over there, and we need to give the path from where we need to save those images. So images will be stored using this step. To get the text from the PDF, there is one action which is named extract text from PDF. So we will give the same path over here, and it will get the text from this PDF file, and it will stored into the this variable extracted PDF text. Now if I want to write that text into any txt file, then there is one action write text to file. So I will just need to give the path. I just need to give the variable where all the text have been stored, and if the file is exist, then if I want to overwrite the content or if I want to append the content, we can uh, select the options based on our requirement. We can it stores different kind of encoding to the file. The last example is read OCR text. Consider I have one applications where console Windows applications where I want to fetch specific text from that console Windows applications. So I can fetch uh, in this flow. It will open this app. Once the app is open, the user is not login, so it will click on the sign in button, then type all the username and the password, and then once the screen will be appear once screen will be appear, it will fetch specific text from the that particular screen. So for that I have created one file gateway name. Over there is no text over here. Let me run this flow. So it is automatically it is adding the text from our actions. uh, it is waiting for the next window to run. So from this text I have fetched this text. From this window I have fetched this text, and this text is will be stored into the text file. Let me go to the text file. The gateway info, this is the prefix, and this is the text I have added over using from this app. Let me go to the actions for that. Before that I have added different UI elements, like I have opened this, I have fetched this window, I have added this window, then from this window I have added the sign in actions. So if I want, if this window, once this window will be rendered, I want to click on this element sign in button. So I have to add it into the UI element. Then if I want to enter the email address where I'm typing my email address, and then there is one button next. So uh, on this button click, it will go to the next window, and from this window, this screen, I am fetching the content which is shown over that portion of the window. And there is one this screen which is rendered when we are typing the user email. So I have added all these UI element from over here into the going into the actions. First we will run the exe file. Like from here it will run this exe file. Once the exe file will be rendered, it will wait for the sign in button. Let me run this again. So it will open this sign in. It will once the running the application, it will open this screen. So it will wait for the sign in action. It will press on the button sign in. So uh, we are doing the manual steps that is performed by this UI flow. Over here it will type the text like it will wait for this window email address, then it will automatically focus on this text box, and we will type the email address. Let me type this email address. uh, these steps, these things I have manually typed. We can use the send keys button, and I have defined this email address into a email address variable. So click on the next button. It will wait for the sign in account screen. Now this comes to sign in account screen. I'm just typing the tab and enter. Tab and click on enter. It will go to the next stage. It will wait for some of the text like ready to be used from this screen. So this text is available over here in this window, and we will extract the particular text from this window, and we will write this text into the txt file. So using this we can fetch this kind of data in a real world, like in one of the requirement we have done, like the client have one windows applications. From there they have the they are getting exporting the CSV files, and this CSV files is stored into the local system. Once it is stored into the local system, it will upload into the FTP server. So this kind of things which we have developed using the UI flows. So these are the demos examples I have created for this session. Now let me go to the next slide. Now the next thing is how we can trigger the UI flows. Now into the demos we have triggered manually. So if I want to automate, or if I want to trigger these UI flows using any of the actions, so we can trigger this flow by using the automated flow or a button flow, or we can create a schedule flow or any kind of business flow, process flow. From that flow we can trigger our UI flows. And as we know, UI flows are specific to any specific desktop system. To connect our system and the Power Automate, we need one gateway through which we can trigger the flow from another system. And that using if I have two systems, in system 1 I have configured the UI flow, and in system 2, from the system 2, if I want to trigger this flow, then I need the gateway to trigger the flow from into the system 1. For that there is a tool or a app, we can say, on premise data gateway. This is the second options, like when we are downloading the Power Automate. So what it will do, it will create one gateway that provides the secure connection between our Power Automate and our own device, or we can say a system. So if I will go and trigger the flow from Power Automate dashboard, it will go into our system and trigger the flow from into our system using the this on-premise data gateway. So to trigger the UI flows, there is one action available into the Power Automate. The name is run a flow with Power Automate desktop. So from there, uh, it will show all the UI flows that is associated with this account. We need to select this account, select this UI flow, and this flow will be triggered when this Power Automate flow will be run. So when you create the desktop flow, you can run them either in attend mode or in unattend mode. So there are two types of RPAs. Um, the main difference is one, attended modes are work with the human supervision, and the unattended RPAs are work with the without human supervision. The details of this, I have added one reference slide where you can go and check all the details, what are the difference between them. You can I have given the one link from where you can go and check more details about it. So to trigger this UI flow, let me go to the desktop screen. This is my Power Automate desktop screen. From there, I have created one schedule flow by clicking on new flow, and I have created schedule flow. So let me edit this flow. It will trigger on every day, and I have used the run of flow built with Power Automate desktop. So this is the same account which I have signed in into the Power Automate desktop. It will show all the flows that I have created over here. And let me go to the desktop and delete this file. We will run this flow manually for now, and once we click on test and run the flow, it will go into our system uh, or in a virtual machine where I have configured the Power Automate desktop, and it will trigger the flow. Click on run flow. It is running the flow into the background, and once the flow will be run successfully, it will we have created run the flow of getting the attachments from the Outlook. So it will get the attachments and store into the local folder. The flow is run successfully. Let me go inside that server, and it has run successfully and get the attachment from the Outlook and edit the files over here. Let me go to the next slide. Now we have created the flow, we have we have triggered the flow. Now how we can export and import these UI flows. So to do that, we have one options solutions into the Power Automate desktop screen. We will go into the solutions part, and then we need to add the UI flows we want to uh, export and import into the another environment. So let's go to to the Power Automate screen. From here, I have two environments. One is the development and second one is the encode solution. Okay, and in development environment, I don't have any desktop flows. So I want to export the flow from the other environment to the development environment. Let me go to my default environment. I will go into the solutions. Click on the new solution. I need to give the name of the solution. Pune. We can select the publisher or we can use the existing. Click on create. It has created one solution, Pune Tech demo. Clicking on that particular solution, we can add our existing flows from here. Clicking on the desktop flows, it will show me all the desktop flows associated with this account. I'm selecting all these flows. Click on add. Now the next thing is click on the export button. We need to publish that. It will take some time to publish the flow, all the flows. Clicking on the run to check if there is any issues or not. It may take some minutes to check into all the flows. So for now, I have exported one sample file. Let me go to the desktop, and I have exported this solution. Once this screen will be rendered, just we need to click on the export button. Once the export button will be clicked, then this file will be downloaded into your local system. I think it's done. So click on next. It will create managed or unmanaged solution based on our requirement. If you want to move this solution to test or our product environment, then we can select the manage. I'm clicking on export button. Now it is currently exporting the solution. So once the solution will be exported, it will have this zip file, and we can go into the other environment and we can import the file. So for that, I'm going into the another development environment. Before going to the solutions, into the desktop flow, we don't have any flows for this development environment. So clicking on solution, clicking on the import button, and it will browse the file. Going into the desktop, click on import. So it will import that solution. it is taking some time to import the solution. Let me try it again. It will take some time as there are many flows. So once the solution will be imported, all the flows will be shown over here. Let me go to the next steps. Once this will be done, it will be shown over here. So let me go to the next slide. So importing and exporting flows has been done. Now there are some limitations of the UI flow. So there are like Power Automate flows will be stored into the default environment, and if we are creating a Windows recorder desktop flow, it does not support the double click events or mouse over click events. So these are the different limitations of the Power Automate UI flows. You can I have said one link into the next slide where you can go into the details of the to check all the limitations of the UI flow. So these are all are the resources where you can go and check for the details of the Power Automate desktops and like the Selenium IDE. If you want to know about the attendant mode, we can go over there, and there are different links for the Power Automate desktop, so you can go over there and explore these things. At last, thank you everyone for your time and giving me thank you everyone for your time and giving me the opportunity to share my knowledge with you. Thank you everyone.